To this story now, the case against Patriotic Alliance leader Bruce Nimmerhoudt has been dismissed. He's been found not guilty of circulating a WhatsApp voice note inciting public violence and calling on people to block national highways. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane was in court a bit earlier and joins us just now. Good morning, Slindelo. So the matter has been dismissed. He's been found not guilty. Just take us through the judgment. What did the judge have to say?
Well, from what we understand, Magistrate Ruby Mateus had actually prepared two judgments, one long one and one rather short one, and that's the one that she delivered this morning with the agreement from counsel, of course, and from what we understand, quite a scathing judgment, to say the least, because for most of her judgment, the magistrate was just going into detail around the fact that the state just simply did not bring enough evidence before her court for her to actually find Bruce Nimmerhoudt guilty of the charges that were against him. She said, in fact, no court could find Nimmerhoudt guilty given the evidence that was before the court. But now I am joined, of course, by the free man himself, whose charges have now been dropped. And, of course, he's here with members of the Patriotic Alliance as well as his family. You were quite emotional after that judgment. Tell me what was going through your head.
Good morning, Slee. Good morning, eNCA viewers. Good morning, South Africa. It is indeed a glorious day, a victorious day, and also a beautiful day. First and foremost, we give God all the glory. We stand in faith. We stand without fear and favor. So what went through my mind was the fact that I'm a faithful person. So I went into the dock this morning being faithful, knowing that God will exonerate me, that God will declare my freedom. And that's exactly what happened here today. At the end of the day, the presiding officer was God himself. And that we will not be held by any principalities or vexes that comes against us. So we went in there with confidence, knowing that from the onset, I declared my innocence during the bail hearing, during the bail application. And it was never my intention to prove my innocence, but the state had to prove my guilt. And they failed from the onset right up until today to present to the court any evidence or any fact that I'm guilty. So I am a free man today.
Tell me about the toll this has taken on you and your family over the past year. How has it been?
It comes both as a blessing and a curse, on the basis that emotionally, spiritually, it's been testing. Not only on myself, but also on my families, also on my close friends, also on the communities that I provide leadership or that I'm a leader in. And when I say it's a blessing, my integrity speaks for itself, my credibility speaks for itself, my brand speaks for itself. But however, you know, you have your naysayers that obviously you need to prove your innocence to. And I don't stand in validation or justifying my innocence. And where I stand today, I stand knowing that I always maintain my innocence, and that is why I am today. I'm an innocent man.
Maybe then let's talk about the fact that you've maintained that you were being framed in this matter. Who's targeting you?
Slee, as I said to you, I will provide you with a full expose. Right now, it would be premature for me to do so. I think the appropriate time will come at the ordained time for me to do a full expose. There are evidence that I'm in possession of that we did not present or submit before court. And when the appropriate time comes and does arrive, we will present that in the expose.
Do you want to sue?
Intentionally, definitely, yes.
All right. Fundo, maybe quickly then, can I just bring in Mr. Calvin Richards? Of course, this was Mr. Nimmerhoudt's lawyer who was presenting his case in court and, of course, putting some very tough questions to the state's witnesses. Maybe then just give me your reaction in terms of what you were up against in terms of the evidence in court.
Well, I think from the onset we were confident in the case that we had to face here against the state. Just looking at the expert evidence that was presented in court, I think that gave me reassurance that we'll win this matter. I'm not particularly, I don't know how to say it. I'm excited that we managed to prove to the state that what they had from the onset and what we've been saying to them from the onset is that they have no case against us. Obviously, whatever they presented speaks for them for itself, as you saw and as you heard in court today. The magistrate presided over what the state presented, and I suppose that's all I can say. I did what I had to do as a legal representative, and I think my client needs to do what he needs to do going forward.
Thank you so much. All right,
just
that's
important. Can I just
yes.
do a few thank yous? First and foremost, I want to thank the leadership of the Patriotic Alliance. I want to thank the President, Mr. Gayton McKenzie, the Deputy President, Mr. Kenny Kunene, and the National Executive Committee. I want to thank all the members, the patriots of the Patriotic Alliance, for fervently standing by me throughout this journey. I also want to express a heartfelt gratitude of thanks to South Africa for the many communities that stood firmly behind me, that declared my innocence, that they prayed for me, they carried me up in their intercessions, and we would not have made it this far without the many intercessors. I also want to thank my family for standing behind me, standing next to me, standing in front of me, and also at times when I felt very low and depressed, that they always lifted me up, that they always carried me. Then a special thank you goes out to my attorney, Mr. Calvert Richards and his firm, Richards and Palmer Attorneys. They did a phenomenal job. I would highly recommend you at any given time. There were times where, it's just natural that I doubted not only myself, but I doubted my legal representative as well. But at the end of the day, he came through as a Rottweiler. And, I can just say that with him by my side, I can win any war. So I want to thank South Africa. And this victory does not only belong to me, it belongs to South Africa as well. For the many injustices that continue to prevail, this is a victory for South Africa, for South Africans. Thank you once again to the Patriotic Alliance and all the members. I salute them.
All right, Mfundo, as you can hear from the man himself, Mr. Nimmerhoudt, very pleased to be free. Of course, we know there are about 40 July Unrest instigators that were arrested, and from what we understood from the Hawks, there were about 46 more who were expected to also be arrested. So it's going to be interesting to see how those cases will turn out, knowing that Bruce Nimmerhoudt, who was an alleged instigator, is now a free man, not enough evidence to prosecute.
It will certainly be interesting to see how those particular cases are finalized. But thank you very much for that update. That's eNCA reporter Slindelo Masikane. Now, the